Sasha, after 9/11, that day, do you remember if you stayed in New York or left New York?
Um, we left the next day because the toxic air or the debris from accumulated from the destruction of the two towers. So that led to bad air, and I remember I started coughing. My brother started coughing, very, very sick. It wasn't the right place to be at that moment. So we went to Long Island the very next day.
Okay. Thanks for remembering all that. And moving ahead to 10 years from that day to today, the 10th anniversary of the events. Do you think that the events of that day and afterward affected your life and who you are today?
Um, yeah, I believe so, It was a major part in my young childhood. It's something to tell younger generations after me, and it has played a role in my life. You think back on it during hard times and you think, well, got through that, why can't I do this? So, it can help you get through hard times knowing that you've gotten over something as big as that.
Okay. Moving on to the focus of your topic, the effects of 9/11 changed the world. In your project, you're very interested in the community of Tribeca, not necessarily the global effects of 9/11. So I think what you're exploring with the people that you have interviewed is the connection between 9/11 and our community, the service to the community, okay? So here's another series of questions. After the events of 9/11, immediately after the events of 9/11, do you think you had a role in your personal community, either with friends or family or your neighborhood of service? Could be anything from just being with your friends or family, your teachers, or volunteering.
Well, at the age of 6, you don't do much to help out, but I did receive a lot of help in my school in general. We got a lot of support from schools across the world. People came to visit, Jackie Chan, the astronauts. They all came, visited, sort of made us feel better about ourselves. So I feel we got a lot of help from others, school-wise and neighborhood-wise. A lot of the kids my age, just a lot of the kids in the neighborhood got a lot of help, support, and in a lot of ways.
It sounds like that was something that you found very useful.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. During the past 10 years, do you think that those experiences, maybe that you were given after 9/11, has affected your feelings of the way that community and service has a place in your life?
Well, I feel this community of downtown, Tribeca Financial District area, is much, you sort of share a bond with people that were there at that time, You're like, you were there before 2001, then you share something that no one can really take away, and everyone's very close to each other, especially at that time. I remember everyone was very connected, everyone looked out for each other, and everyone tried to rebuild. And then service-wise, I do feel it's more important to help out this community in general, because everyone always needs help, and especially down here I feel like I'm obligated to help everyone, because during that time in 2001 everyone else helped each other, and I received a lot of help, me and my schoolmates.
Very interesting. I want to just ask you, say that in the future you move to, let's say when you go to college or afterward, do you think that that feeling of providing service and finding community will be important to you?
It definitely, I believe it will. Um, you always want to be helpful in whatever community you live in. Doesn't matter where you live. You always want to be a major part of your community, and you want to help out everyone that lives there. And then service-wise, no matter what age, you always want to help out people in bad situations, anything that needs help, really. It's just you want to help out. So yeah, I do think that the experience I've gained will help me in my service and how I can be a major part in communities that I'm a part of.
Okay. Do you think that your particular experience of 9/11, what you experienced on that day and after, has changed you from what you were, even though you were 6 years old at the time?
I guess it couldn't really change me, but it's had an effect on me, and it's made me a much more mature person.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of built character.
Mm.
Going through an experience like that, you build your character, you gain experience, you become a lot more mature. Going through a situation where there is not a lot of time to maybe goof off or sort of have fun, where you always need to help out, and at a young age of 6, learning how to be mature and how to help and how to give service to everyone else. That's a very good thing to get. So that's why at the age I am now, I became a bit more mature and a bit more experienced in some ways.
Okay. Thinking about your community, and by that I mean your personal community of your family and your friends and your neighborhood, do you see any changes in those as a result of 9/11?
Well, I believe that community-wise, right after 9/11, like the few months after, everyone really came together, made strong bond, and built the neighborhood back up, got people in better situations if their houses or their financially they were just not in the best situations because of it. So I feel like the whole community of Tribeca sort of rose together to
Mm-hmm.
show that we can rebound from
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
and especially New York City as well.
Mm-hmm.
New York City in general really came together, and that was a major factor. We didn't really give up, like in tough situations like that, there's two things you'll see in people. You'll either probably see like the worst in people or the best, and you mainly saw the best from most people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you want to see.
Mm-hmm. In your opinion, overall, would you say that that you experience positive effects from your story of 9/11 10 years later?
Yes, positive effects. Only nothing. I don't think anything bad came out because so much. I learned so much, and everyone in this neighborhood learned so much, that if everyone works in the community, everyone helps out in the smallest ways, that it can make this neighborhood exactly what it is today.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't just moan about it, we didn't think about it and like say, there's nothing we can do now, might as well give up. Everyone was like, okay, that was a setback, let's take 2 steps forward.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's even a more connected neighborhood, and it became even bigger, even though I'm not a fan of it being. Yeah, so I feel that just a large neighborhood that's became now, not much of a fan, but I am happy that the neighborhood became so connected, and everyone worked hard, everyone committed their time and service to making this neighborhood much better, and it turned out successful because now the neighborhood is very powerful. It's nice to see.
So, do you feel like there have been any negative effects on your community, either personally or with your family, friends, or your neighborhood?
There was no negative effects. Everyone just learned from the situation. Everyone just got better as a person. They're just like character in general. Just they became better. Everyone became a better person from the experience. Obviously, it was a bad thing, but everyone learned something good. Everyone learned from the situation, and that's always good.
Okay, Sasha, you have an interesting story to tell. Thank you.